Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video we will be making this cardigan. It's a very simple tutorial friendly for beginners. You can use any 4 medium weight yarn to create your cardigan, and you'll be needing 5mm crochet hook for this. And if you find this tutorial useful, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So now let's get started. Okay, so like I said, any for medium weight yarn, and I'm using 3 different colors. Feel free to use any color of your choice, and feel free to use any hook for your project. So I use 3 different colors, and I just make two rounds with each colors. So now I'm going to start the first round and make a slip knot, and then you will chain 4. After you got the 4 chains, you're going to make a slip stitch into the beginning chain to form a ring. Chain 3. Now chain 3 counts as a double crochet throughout our work. Into that space, go in with a double crochet, and then again yarn over into that same space, go into with a double crochet, and then when you finish, you're going to chain 3. And you're going to work another 3 double crochets into that same space. So we're going to have 3 columns of double crochets into that same space. And when you finish, you're going to chain 3, and then again put another 3 double crochets into that space. So let's repeat it for one more time. Chain 3, and then 3 double crochets into that same space. Now I'm going to use the same color of yarn to do round 2. So what we are going to do is that after you finish, you're going to chain 1, and then to finish this last our first round, to finish it, this is how it looks like. Now to start round 2, you're not going to chain 3 to slip stitch, because I'm going to use the same color. I'll just chain 1, and then at the top of that chain 3, I'll go in with a half double crochet. So this is how we are going to finish round 1. So now we're going to start round 2 with the same color, chain 3, which counts as a double crochet. Into that space, go in with 2 double crochet. This is our first corner, but it's going to be half, and we're going to finish it as we finish the round 2. Chain 2, skip those 3 stitches into your next chain 3 space, put 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet into that same corner. And then when you finish, you're just going to chain 2, and then you will skip the chain 3s that is next to you, and then make a corner into the next chain 3 space, which is 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet into the same space. Now we're going to finish this last round. To finish the last round, we have to finish our last corner. Put 3 double crochet into that space. To finish our last corner, we should have 4 corners. So round 2 is finished. So now to finish round 2, you're going to chain 3, because I'm no longer going to use this color. I'm going to chain 3, and then at the top of your chain 3, you're going to make a slip stitch. So this is how round 2 looks like. Cut off the yarn, and you're going to weave in the remaining yarn of your work. with your tapestry needle, go in with the remaining yarn, and where my slip stitch came from, I'll look for some stitch in there and then go with my darning needle, and then into the wrong side of my granny square I'm going to hide this remaining yarn of my work. So you're going to cut off those remaining yarn you have at the wrong side of your granny square. Go ahead and do that, and then we're going to start round 3. So this is how we're going to start round 3. Into any chain 3 space, go in with your new color. Pull up the yarn and then chain. You're going to chain 3. Chain 3 counts as a double crochet, and then into that same corner go in with 2 double crochets. So this is our first corner, but we say our half corner, and we're going to finish it as we finish round 3. And then chain 2, skip those 3 stitches into your next chain 2 space, go in with a 3 double crochet. And then chain 2, skip those 3 stitches and then walk into your corner, 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet into that same corner. So now that I'm starting with a new color, to end this round 3, I will chain 1 and then yarn over, make half double crochet at the top of my chain 3 after I complete my corner. So after I finish that, I'm going to chain 3 and then start working from that same exact point. But let's just keep on going and I will still show you, just like what we did for round 1. After we finish round 1, to start round 2 is the same thing we are going to do for round 3, because we are going to use the same color to do round 4. So put 3 double crochets into your corner, chain 3, and then 3 double crochets into that same corner. So repeat this until you reach at the end, and I'll meet you back there. So this is our chain 2 space. You chain 2 and just put 3 double crochet into that chain 2 space. So now we finish our corner with 3 double crochets into that, and then because I'm going to use the same color of yarn, chain 1 and then make half double crochet at the top of your chain 3 space, and then you will chain 3, which counts as a double crochet for our next round, and then make our half corner, and then we'll finish it as we finish this round. You're going to chain 2 and then walk into the chain 2 space with 3 double crochets. Into every chain 2 space walk 3 double crochets, but with a chain 2 in between. And then when you reach your corner, you're just going to put 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets into the same corner. So this is what you're going to repeat until you have this amount of rounds. You have 6 rounds. And then we'll be needing 23 granny squares to make our cardigan. So keep on working your granny square, and then I'll meet you back at the end so we can put everything together. So now it's time for us to put our granny squares together. Now there is going to be 3 for each side, for the front side. 3 granny square for the front side. One side is going to have 3, and then the other side of your cardigan is going to have 3. So now we are going to join our granny square with the single crochet method, and then with the right side facing you, your granny square should be at the right side facing you. Make a slip knot, go into your first granny square with the yarn that you finish your granny square with. what we're going to use to join our granny square together. Chain 1. Sorry, the color of this yarn is not so clear on the camera. So when you chain 1 into that same granny square, go in with your hook, and then into the next granny square. Mind you, your granny square should be at the right side of your work. So go in with a single crochet into your chain 3 spaces, the corner of your granny square, and then when you finish, you have stitches next to you. Go in with your hook on both loops. First, you will go onto the first stitch of your granny square, the first granny square, and then into the next granny square, the first stitch. Go in with your hook, pull a yarn, and then make single crochet. And then you go into the next stitch of your granny square, and then into the next granny square, go into the second stitch with a single crochet, and then into the next stitch, go onto both loops, and then into the next stitch of your next granny square, go in with a single crochet. And when you reach the chain 2 space of your work, hold your granny square, the 2 granny square together, and then make a single crochet in between that chain 2 space. And then there are stitches next to you. Go on to the next stitch next to you, and then into the next granny square, make single crochet. So this is the method we are going to join our granny squares with. Make sure you don't skip a stitch. Into your chain 2 space with a single crochet, just one single crochet, and then there are stitches next to you. Go in with a single crochet into every stitch, into every granny square. Put the granny squares together. So this is how it looks like, the right side of your work. So you're going to have 2 panels for the front, and then you're going to have 3 panels for the back. 3 squares, you're going to make it 1 panel. 3 squares, you're going to make it 1 panel. So you have 3 panels for the back, and then 2 panels for the front. And then for our sleeves, you'll have 2 panels for one side, and then 2 panels for one side. You make 2 squares 1 panel, 2 squares 1 panel, and then you have 2 panels for each sleeves. So you go to the last stitch of your granny square, your stitch, and then there is a chain 3 space next to you. Go in with a single crochet onto both granny squares, and then you're going to cut off the yarn and then weave in the remaining yarn of your work. And I have just put 2 granny squares together. I am going to add 1 more at the top. Like I said, you join 3 squares to make it 1 panel with the right side facing you. The same method. So I'll do 1 panel now, and then I'm going to repeat this for the front. I will make 3 squares 1 panel, and I'll repeat the same thing for the back. I should have 3 panels for the back. So go ahead and do this, and I'll meet you back at the end to complete the work. So go on and put on your box together. So I have 3 granny square here together. So I'm going to cut off the remaining yarn, and then you're going to weave in the ends of your yarn, and I'll meet you back at the end to work the next step. Alright, this is how it looks like. Our work is not yet put together. So as you can see, this is the back, 3 panels. This is the sleeve. There you can see the front. We only have 2 panels for the front. So now we are going to join all these panels together. The back panel just the same way we join the granny squares, the single crochet method. And then you're going to join the shoulder parts using the single crochet method. And then you're going to join the sleeves together using the single crochet method, just like how we put the granny squares together. And then you repeat the same thing for the other side. And when you finish, you're going to attach your sleeves to the cardigan, the body parts of our work. So go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you back at the end. Alright, everything is together. As you can see, everything is joined. We are not actually complete, but the sleeves, the body, we join them now. It now remains for us. We are going to flip our work like this, the right side facing you, because this is the way we want to join our cardigan. So now you're going to join your cardigan from the bottom of your cardigan, or you can start from the sleeve using the single crochet method. Join both sides, and then I'll meet you at the end to work on the neckline of our cardigan. Alright, our granny square cardigan is together, the sleeves, everything, body is now complete. So now we are going to work on the neckline. As you can see, I have a stitch marker here at the center of my second granny square, and I did the same thing for the other side of my cardigan. Here, this is where we are going to make our lace that we use to tie the center of our cardigan. Okay, and you're going to do the same thing. You can put stitch marker, or you can use different color of yarn to mark that exact point. So with the same yarn that I finished my granny square with, I'm going to use it to work this neckline. Here, this is my chain 3 space. There is chain 3 here. At the second chain, go in with your hook and then pull your yarn through that side, and then chain 1. And there is a stitch next to you, a chain next to you. Go in with a single crochet into that chain. And then when you finish, you have a stitch next to you. Go in with a single crochet. And then there is a stitch next to you. Go in with a single crochet. And another stitch is next to you. Go in with a single crochet. And then when you reach your chain 2 space, just go in with a single crochet inside that space. Make sure you don't skip a stitch. When you finish, go into your next stitch with a single crochet, into your next stitch, single crochet, into your next stitch with a single crochet. And when you reach your chain 2 space, you are going to put a single crochet. So this is what we are going to do for this neckline. This is going to make our neckline look neat. So go ahead and repeat this. So this side looks like. So repeat this until you reach your stitch marker. And when you reach at this point where where we attach our granny square, go into that space with a single crochet, and into this center you can see where our joining take place. Go in with a single crochet in there, and then after that you have a space next to you, work a single crochet, and then there is a stitch next to you. Go in with a single crochet into every stitch and every chain 2 space. Alright, I'm at the end of this part. I have just reached my stitch marker. Go in with a single crochet into that space, and then you're going to chain 61. And also, if you want your lace more long, you can add more foundation chains, but don't make it too tight because we'll be working at the back bump of our foundation chains. But note, the same amount of chains you're making for this one side is going to be the same you're going to chain for the other side, so know how much you're chaining. So after I have my 61 chains, my one chain is a turning chain. You're going to flip your work like this, and then into the back bump of our foundation chains, we are going to make slip stitch into every stitch. And if you're not sure of the chains you make, now at this point you have a chance for you to check. You will just check how much foundation chain by as you keep on working, you check how much you have, so that you will be able to have the same amount for the other side, because you will be needing the same exact chains. So make slip stitch at the back bump of every stitch until you reach at the bottom, and I'll meet you back there. Alright, I am at the end of my foundation chains. Since that chain 2 already have a stitch, you just go into your next stitch with a single crochet to join this lace nicely. So this is how it looks like. So now I'm going to repeat the same thing into every stitch, make single crochet, and every chain 2 space a single crochet. And when you reach the point where you join your granny square into that center, go in with a single crochet. Now every chain 2 space will have single crochet, and every double crochet will receive a single crochet. So this is going to be the repeat until you reach your next stitch marker, and you're going to repeat the same thing you did for the lace for the first one. Make sure you don't skip a stitch. So work your way down. When you reach your stitch marker, don't forget the amount of chains you make for your first lace is the same thing you're going to do for the second lace. So if you work differently, you actually going to have different size or different length of lace. So know how much you did for the first one, and so you should do the same thing for the second one. So work your way down until you reach the bottom of your cardigan, and I'll meet you back there to finish this thing together. Alright, I'm at the end of my work. I've put my stitch into the last double crochet, and then into the next stitch next to me, go in with a single crochet, and then when you finish, just make a slip stitch into that chain 3 space, and then cut off the remaining yarn, and then cut off the yarn, and then the remaining yarn weaving on ends of your yarn. And then your project is ready, your cardigan is ready. If you find this tutorial useful, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button. Anytime I upload a new video, you will be notified. Thank you for joining me. See you in my next video. Bye.